At a staggering 700 metres, is Wales's longest.
We're looking at the pier day in, day out, going round it, maybe 10, 15 times a day. It's majestic.
Never the same 2 days running, you know? And you get the dolphins coming into the bay and you get the boats coming into the bay. It's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at the view out the office window, it's absolutely stunning.
This is the story of the men and women of the pier during the summer of 2021, as life gets back to normal after difficult times.
Worrying times, a lot of pressure on. We'll do what we do and we'll make it happen.
After the difficult year that people have had, this is what everybody needs now.
Every morning when you get up and you get that view, well, you'd be bonkers to hate it, wouldn't you?
It's a one-off. I can see why the Victorians built this in the first place.
It's a unique asset to Llandudno, isn't it? It's part of the attraction for coming here. You know, people come to a seaside because they want to walk along the pier.
The magic about the pier, I think, is its age. It was here in the 1800s, and for it to still exist now, and all its history.
Majority of the pier is the only pier in the world that is untouched from the day it was built and still has the same character. That's the difference with this pier.
The never-changing charm of this Victorian masterpiece is enjoyed all year round by visitors and locals alike.
They've kept the character of it, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly.
It's never changed. It's never changed from me being little.
Two of Llandudno's year-round residents who are besotted by the pier are friends Margaret Weldrick and Corinne Charrock.
You can smell the seaweed today, very strong.
Well, I'd rather be doing this than ironing.
When I'm on the pier, I remember the times when I was little. We used to come on a trip out with either my mum or dad, or we used to even come on a coach. And to see something like this as a child is so unusual. Children these days think nothing about going abroad, but we've got the nicest places on our own doorstep.
I like your hat. Where did you get that from? You bought me this.
Did I? I don't remember that. I don't. No. I don't remember. Well, it suits you.
It grabs you. There's just something about it. When you stand at the top and you see that building there on the bottom of the pier, it takes you back. It takes you back in time.
I always like to do this, just stroll along, watching everybody.
Yeah. Soak up the atmosphere, that's the...
Yeah.
All the smells. It makes you hungry, doesn't it?
Hi girls, you all right?
We're fine, thank you. Are you okay?
Nice day.
I think the sun's got to our heads.
Yeah.
The only one, kid. Got 3 years ago.
It's just so nice, friendly.
You're never lonely. People will speak to you.
Yeah.
Hiya, how are you? Yeah, fine. You enjoying this gorgeous weather? I know, nothing nicer than to come on the pier. It's going quite fast, that. Even though we live here, you feel as if you're on holiday yourself. What's not to love?
Heaven.
Heaven on
Heaven.
Heaven on earth.
Like so many others in Llandudno, Margaret and Corin enjoy nothing more than strolling along the pier, browsing the various stalls.
Oh gosh, look at these.
Oh,
The cat with the fish.
oh that's good.
Oh, aren't they gorgeous?
They are a bit unusual.
Yeah.
Very different.
For creative artist Lynn Morris, this passing trade is vital.
People have just been lovely and buying my images, which is great. Everybody that's walking past, whether they want a picture or not, will see your artwork, and it seems to make them smile, and if they're smiling, they're taking more of an interest in my work, which is great.
They're nice for people to take as a souvenir, aren't they?
Especially that the goats are so famous now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I like to put a little bit of humour into my images, and I've kind of like picked things that are surround where I live, so the seagulls, the goats. I've got so many ideas for images, and I'm desperate to get back out around Llandudno with my camera to take more pictures.
To feed her creative needs, Lynn regularly escapes her shop on the bustling pier and climbs the Great Orme in search of Llandudno's now world-famous goats.
Oh no. Don't go. I usually find that when you go out and looking for them, you don't find them. And then when you just go out ad hoc, they're usually about, so, which is a great find today to see so many handsome chaps. And then they disappear.
The goats first came to Llandudno in the late 1800s, when Lord Mostyn acquired a pair from the royal herd. The Kashmiri goats have thrived on the Orme for over 100 years, and during lockdown, made headlines across the world when they left their cliff-top habitat and descended to reclaim their town.
Because they've been going into town for a long time, they're not scared of people. They'll just stay there, which is great for photography and great for the kind of photography that I do. Come on, goat, put your head up. I don't know what I'm going to use this goat in. He could be in a speedboat, he could be hand gliding or anything. So I need all angles of all his limbs so that I can cut them all out and make a completely new image. I think I'm going to have to start bringing a little still with me, and I'm getting older. Staying in these crouch positions for ages. When I thought that I would like to go commercial with my images, I thought I needed a character. So a seagull came to mind and got really excited about producing those, and it suddenly dawned on me that there's a lot of people who hate seagulls. So I thought maybe I should do some with the goats. I think for me it's a bit of a symbol of Llandudno now. I think a lot of tourists have come down here in hope to see them. This is what people want to buy. They want to have a memory of their trip. And if I can add a little bit of humour into that, they'll remember me and they'll remember their trip. People will look at my goats and say, oh, look at the sheep. No, the goats are in Llandudno, we're famous. So I made a sign, Llandudno's world famous Welsh mountain goats. And then a few people go, oh, look at the sheep. They're not sheep.
It's from the producers of the next Bond movie. They want me to do the song.
Really? Don't they normally get hip young people to do that?
Ah, I'm young. I'm still James Bond. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brand new Spitting Image, streaming every Saturday only on BritBox.
The 4-year-old two-wheel whirlwind.
Woo! Awesome!
And the inspirational mountains and lakes of Snowdonia. That's Autumn on Coast and Country, ITV Cymru Wales, Tuesday at 7:30.
I'm going face to face with some of the people who've made a major contribution to Welsh life. I'll be finding out what made them and what motivates them. That's Face to Face, Thursday nights at 10:45 on ITV Cymru Wales.
Llandudno is often referred to as the Queen of Welsh resorts. This Victorian town, with its curved promenade safely sheltered within two headlands, the Great Orme to the west and Little Orme to the east.
We only do a 1 hour special per day.
Right.
The Little Orme is a registered bird sanctuary and a wild nature reserve.
Beautiful.
So we're only permitted to go over to the Little Orme once a day. We usually do it the first trip in the morning.
The CJ runs regular trips around the Great Orme. But for the early risers, Thomas Ellis and his crew run a special tour of the Little Orme's nature reserve.
So we're just sweeping in now to what's locally known as Angel Bay. We just sort of come into the centre of the bay and just almost come to a stop, if you like. 9 times out of 10, you get a couple of seals that just come up in this corner, fingers crossed. Oh yeah. There's one, female. The female of the group seems to be quite inquisitive. So we'll just give them a couple of minutes, let them see the seals, and then we'll move on so we don't cause any disturbance and what have you. We don't really want to go there, disturb the birds or disturb the wildlife or anything, so we'll just go around nice and slowly and let people take in the sights and what have you, you know. Sometimes you're looking out the window, you know, and you think you're always looking at the same thing, but it's constantly changing. Every day is different, even though it's the same patch of water.
Anybody else then, ladies and gentlemen, for the 220 sailing? Last call now, if you'd like to come along with us.
During the busiest summer months, a place aboard the CJ can be hard to come by, so one local avoids the crowds by going it alone.
I started kayaking because of the Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Award. There was a group of us at school when we were 13. I just loved it. I love kayaking.
Stuart Stanley is a seasoned kayaker and knows these waters like the back of his hand.
From here, get onto the water, and people are normally quite interested in what you're doing. If you head off and hug the coast quite a lot, in the mornings you quite often smell the breakfast from the hotels. That drifts out, and all the coffee and the toast, you smell it quite strongly. It is quite nice. Being a firefighter at Llandudno, when the shift ends, I'm always looking to see what the weather's doing and to see if it's going to be feasible to go kayaking. The pier, it features on every paddle I do. I either go just to the tip of it, or more often than not, I'll go underneath it. I see it from the bottom looking up, and I see all the creatures on the stanchions, and I see all the cracks in the floorboards. At the pier, that's where generally I get a feeling of how strong the tide is that's assisting me, or not assisting me, as the case might be sometimes, because you can see it on the stanchions, so you get a good idea of the strength of the tide and what the tide's actually doing. From there on, really, it becomes a little bit more adventurous because there's rocks you can squeeze through, there's small caves, especially at high water, it opens up. We're very much on the tip of Great Orme's Head now. You can start to see all the bird life on the head of the Orme. Razorbills, lots of shags and kittiwakes. But the Great Orme is quite a keen twitcher spot. A lot of people come here to actually look at the bird life. It's always surprising, the lack of people making use of the water. If people really did understand what you can see around there, seal life, you know, the dolphin, the porpoise, the bird life, where better to see them from the sea and a kayak around the base of the Orme. The further you progress, the quieter it does get, and then eventually you're left completely alone. The cliffs are turning golden brown. We've got almost glass as sea. It's quite nice to go of an evening, obviously with the sunset. The sunsets we've been getting of late have been stunning. When I've returned, and I go back under the pier, I just feel like I'm entering into a safe haven. Doesn't really get any better than that, does it? Look at it. Absolutely still calm, isn't it? Stunning. Great night to be out.
As Stuart retires for the evening, and the sun sets on another day in Llandudno. Not everyone has the luxury of winding down during those tranquil twilight hours. For Adam and his team on the pier, the night shift is only just beginning.
Ready? Let's crack on, boys.
Adam is constantly innovating, bringing new and exciting attractions to the pier.
People want more now for the money. Leisure tourism is exactly the same. You've got to move with the times.
Time is money, so Adam is working through the night to assemble a new fish and chip shop in the shape of a lighthouse, with a view to having it up and serving by the morning.
There's two sides to a pier. It's what you see in the day, and then there's an awful lot that happens at night. Certainly not 9 till 5. When we're moving equipment, we can work through the night. It's got to be done. It's what has to happen. We enjoy it. We love it. It's in the blood. It's what we do. There's different teams that are used to doing different pieces of equipment. And I've also got my apprentice here, who is my oldest son. He's learning the ropes. He's 13. Keep walking around, Adam. Pick some bits of wood up and look like you're busy. Bits of packing. We'll have all the bits of packing in the trailer.
Got it.
I'm eager for him to learn what to do so I can have a day off. Hopefully soon. I think the hardest thing in this is there's 9,000 bulbs, and it's how many you break. But it's inevitable you're going to break several bulbs. There's so many of them.
With the lighthouse safely assembled, the biggest challenge remains. Moving such a large structure along the narrow pier comes with its difficulties.
Watch the lamps. Obviously, there's not a lot of room on the pier, so we have to wait until it's safe to move machinery around. How far have I got to come back this way? 4 inches. We're going to have to push the side in then, aren't we? Can you unpin the very outside? And that should give you enough clearance. I think an hour's time we'll be off, and then the next shift in the morning can get it ready for prepping for food. Fish and chips belong on a pier. They belong at the seaside. The initial impression that we've got off the public is they love it. And a lighthouse is fitting to a seafront. And it certainly grabs people's attention from a distance before they even find out that it is fish and chips. The difficult thing with this is, how do we reinvent the wheel like we do many times in the leisure industry? What we come up with was 2 slides. The fish comes down one slide, the chip comes down the other slide, and it seems to be working. It's catching people's attention, and it's just bringing fish and chips back to life.
Do you think Mr. Punch, you look after the baby for me, everybody? Yes.
That's cockles, small prawns, crayfish, king prawn and giant prawn.
The prosperity of any pier is we have to keep reinventing the wheel. And without us doing this and changing our offering, sometimes several times a year, a pier would fail to be economically viable. It's in my blood being innovative. And we have to do that, otherwise we don't succeed. I think the chippy will be a great success and a great addition to the pier and keep people coming for years to come.
Next time, the winter season arrives with a bang.
We want to be the best, and we want to create world-class events, and hopefully that's what we're doing.
Rough seas roll into the bay.
This is what a storm looks like in Llandudno. And believe it or not, there's a pier over there.
Leaving the pier needing vital maintenance work.
We're totally and utterly at the mercy of the weather, all times.
One of our children has gone missing.
Nothing is as it seems.
If you know anything, don't keep it to yourselves.
Are you worried about something? I didn't find the kids in the park. I found them by the woods. Did you too?
Ben's fine. We haven't raised a monster. Detective Sergeant Parks?
Nothing is as it seems.
New thriller Hollington Drive. Watch the full series now on ITV Hub.
When I'm working, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. But I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more.
This is my dad. He is the best and the strongest because he is a superhero. One day he told me that he also has a secret weapon. It's his new safety shoes from U-Power.
U-Power. Get your fill of energy.
Even kids get this.
What's strong with me?
What's strong with me? What's strong with me?
What's strong with me?
What's strong with me?
What's strong with me? With me.
Me. With me.
Make your Halloween spooky. Get 2 British pumpkins for £1.50 and these Cadbury's treats now half price. Morrison's, make good things happen.
Black Widow is available to stream on Disney+.
You ready for this? Let's do this.
Stream the film critics are calling the best Marvel movie, period.
I can handle that.
It's action-packed blockbuster entertainment.
So cool, right? It's good.
You should have brought the Avengers.
Oh, good punch, honey.
Finally.
Marvel Studios' Black Widow, streaming to all subscribers on Disney+.
It is said that two mighty warriors would stage the ultimate challenge of endurance.
I think we've got the wrong horses.
Don't know what you mean.
They would scour the lands in search of ingenious trials, and the hardiest of challenges to undertake them. And this year, it shall be more grueling than ever. I'm a Celebrity returns this November, live on ITV and ITV Hub.
Our brand new 4-part drama, The Long Call, begins tonight here at 9. Now on ITV, with hospital scenes some viewers may find upsetting. It's Coronation Street.
There's always someone to tidy up after on the street. Nectar Points at Argos sponsors Coronation Street.
It's not your fault. You weren't even there.
Why don't we talk about this later?
No. I want to know now, please.
If I hadn't got involved with Jacob in the first place, then none of this would be happening. I brought Harvey into all of our lives.
And you only did that to protect me, so if anyone's to blame, it's me. Si, it's not your responsibility.
Did either ever shoot my mum? Anyone to blame? This man Harvey is.
Sam, you don't need to think about this now.
It's okay. It's better that I know the truth. Thanks, Simon, for telling me. Now we all need to stick together to get Mum better. It's all that matters.
Sorry about the state of the flat. Wasn't expecting anybody. Oh. Right. What on earth's going on?
It's Jenny. She's kicked me out. I'm sorry, I didn't know where to go.
Why, she kicked you out?
I'm not sure I can talk about it.
Yeah, sure. You know, in your own time.
I mean, she's right. I didn't like Johnny. I didn't like him for her, and I was happy to see her with someone else. Is that so bad? It's not like I wanted him dead. I only want what's best for her.
Well, she's grieving. She'll probably calm down soon. Might actually be best to give her a bit of space so that she can process what's happened. You're welcome to stop here. I mean, I could probably make up the sofa to sleep on.
That's really sweet of you. You shouldn't be on the sofa in your own home. I can take it.
Well, I'll leave you sure. Right, go on. Get yourself comfortable.